Welcome to today's video. My name is Chris Brown. Of course, I run a free community called the Modern Man Mastermind for male coaches looking to grow business, but also to have brotherhood and connection. The URL to join for free is in the comments. Today's video is going to be around something that I am extremely enthusiastic around, and I think it becomes the foundation of the work that I do with clients. And it is stemmed from one practical concept, which is actually something that you could see as invisible or woo-woo even if you didn't really think about it, right? So if we think about the layers of growing a coaching business, we have things like lead generation, sales, service, operations, systems, automations, all of those stuff. And all of that is important, but it's equally the thing that everybody is doing. And I think there is a layer that many people are missing. And that layer is what I class as transmission. Like every one of us is transmitting something every single day. We either transmit confidence or we transmit anxiety or fear. But essentially the word transmission to me means that you are transmitting everything, your wisdom, your leadership, the stuff that you embody through lived experience. You are the teaching as opposed to the teacher. And if you are a coach, I think this is one of the most influential things that you could cultivate, that you could develop, is your own transmission. Because when people begin to receive you and they begin to feel you at your full potency, then you're able to influence people in a far greater way than if you just have a tactic or a strategy. You know, in today's world, it's no surprise that there are countless amounts of coaches around. There are tons of people for people to choose from. Things are getting harder in the world of growing coaching businesses. And there's only so many ways in which you could change a script or do a different lead generation tactic. And all of those things are great and they work. But at the foundation of all of that is your ability to communicate truly who you are through the way in which you live. It's a way of being. It is a becoming. And I think for many coaches in the world today, the biggest unlock is going to be in the next layer of becoming. You know, a little over 4 years ago, I went through separation with my wife. And it was one of the most difficult and challenging periods of my life. And I can remember, you know, it's just been my 30th birthday, but my 35th birthday 4 years ago, I don't know. I remember getting so drunk, smashing my phone, embarrassing myself as I was going through this separation. And I decided at that point that I could no longer drink. And I went through this period of abstinence from alcohol, and then I had some periods where I brought alcohol back in, and then it went again, and then it came in and it went. And about, I think like 815 days or so now, alcohol-free completely, and I decided that alcohol is no longer a part of my life. And over the last 4 years, I have sat in men's circles, I've done retreats, I've done countless hours of therapy, numerous hours of healing. I have been part of programs and I've traveled the world to study with some of the greatest teachers that I've come into contact with. One of my current teachers, John Wineland, an incredible man, incredible teacher, and you can find out about a lot of his work. He's got a great podcast, a great book, but it has been influential on my life. And I needed this crisis, this rock bottom, this period of time that forced me to truly look at myself. And through this process of growth, this uncovering of wounds, this healing journey, clearing out the junk of my past, the childhood wounds that I've been carrying, which are always there. They're always present. They're always going to show up. They're always going to be triggered. But my ability to navigate that is way different now than maybe it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And through this journey of deepening as a man, one of the things that I'm most proud of today is the compliments that I get around my groundedness, or the reassurance that people feel, or the safety that they feel in my presence. And one of the reasons I get coaching clients today is that it's more about who I am, who I'm becoming, who I'm committed to being, than it is necessarily only and solely what I can help people do. And so this idea of transmission is this idea of, it's not even an idea, it's a reality. It's like every day you're interacting with people, with the world, with your content, with the way in which you're growing your business, with your clients, potential clients. You are interacting and you have a transmission. It is being transmitted to people, but maybe it's unconscious. Maybe it isn't something that you're consciously cultivating or you're even aware of. And so when you're trying to sign a client, are you transmitting confidence and certainty? Do you embody belief in a way that you can actually help that person and command the fees that you know you are worthy of? Do you command a fee that somebody is willing to pay because you truly embody belief? You see, it's this transmission that becomes the foundation of everything. I see ads on Facebook every day, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the people who truly believe what it is that they're sharing and the people who are just trying to share something that sounds cool. Because the way in which we advertise or the way in which we communicate with the world is far more important than the buttons that we push on Instagram or Facebook to advertise to people. And we will experience inner resistance or challenges when we try to do something outside of the embodied beingness of who we are. So if we have a stretch goal and it's something that we haven't yet embodied, yet we are trying to teach in the world, that will be very clear to the people that we're trying to share that with. And so for me, the word transmission means to be the teaching, the example, the living example. The example is, if you are a fat loss trainer, to be, lean, athletically built, healthy. That is the key, to embody the principles that you share with other people. Because if you don't, there's a dissonance between what you say and how you show up. And you might be able to persuade and influence people from that space, but it's going to make everything more difficult. It's going to make it harder for you to show up. It's going to be more difficult for you to share content around that topic because there's a lack of integrity between the way in which you're living and how you're transmitting yourself to the world. And as long as we avoid and don't deal with this head on, then we will continue to struggle. So I want you to consider your transmission. What is it that you want people to receive when they come into interaction with you, when they come into contact with you, when you're at a networking event or a business event, or you have a sales call with a potential client, or you have a meeting with a client? Like, what do you want them to receive from you? If you're living with anxiety or fear or self-doubt, and you are a teacher, you're a coach, and you're not moving through that, then how do you expect to influence people at the deepest possible level? It's going to be extremely difficult for you to do so. And so part of your work is to handle the thing that is limiting your ability to transmit the essence and the potency of who you truly are. And when we start to handle this, people start to feel it within us. And then we're able to influence people through who we are as opposed to what we say. And if we look at growing a coaching business from the ground up, it starts with you. Your very own transmission, a regulated nervous system, grounded presence, living from the place that you teach. Being the teaching, not the teacher. Being the living embodiment of the things that you want to share with your clients. Because at that place, you're living authentically, truthfully. And then it becomes natural that you influence people because you're charismatically showing up as the leader you are. There's an old quote that I love to remind myself and clients of. Leader of one, leader of many. Can't lead one, can't lead any. And so if you're unable to lead yourself to the place at which you want people to go, if you aren't able to do the things for yourself that you're asking of others, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to ever ever influence people at the deep level. You might have the tactics, the knowledge, the words. You might be able to put on the performance and the persona momentarily. But ultimately, there'll be a pit inside your stomach that knows you aren't truly living as the truth of who you are. So when you're considering growing your coaching business, the thing for you to work on is the thing that will liberate truth within you. What are you avoiding? What are you hiding from? What are you sharing that isn't the truth? What are you sharing that isn't the thing that you embody? Where are you not living from the principles that you're preaching to others? Where are you a preacher as opposed to a teaching? And the deepest place you can influence from is the place that you have no need to tell people what to do because you are the living, breathing example. If you want to join my free men's community, I would love to have you. The link is in the description, and I shall see you in there. Consider your transmission. Consider how you want people to feel on the other side of an interaction with you. All right, peace.